Jack JW here. Welcome, guys. We're going to be talking about the Series 80 slide takedown here in this particular one as a kind of a follow-up because had actually one of the viewers on my takedown disassembly on the 1911 pistol had a few questions about it, about some issues that maybe they were coming across. And I don't know all the issues, and I know that some of the Kimbers, like this one here is my Desert Warrior. This one is pretty much just like an old school 1911 far as takedown goes. There's no extra strange buttons or takedowns on it and everything like that that I know Kimber has incorporated. One of the things that's been incorporated to the 1911 since its origin is the what they call the Series 80 lockup system. It is cursed by many gunsmiths that because you can't get a good trigger pull on it, and it adds to the trigger pull and this and that and such and such. In a sense, you can see the benefits of it, but then again, there's a lot of things that are negative about it. And you can also argue the fact that, well, the gun has served the military for over 75 years and been in production for over 100 years, and it's done fine without it. So in this case here, I have my Colt government model Series 80. This is a beautiful gun, and the trigger pull, even with that Series 80 system in there, is like butter. And I tell you, that's because it's a Colt. So let's go ahead and take this thing down. Take down as usual, just like a normal 1911 would be. Let's take this notch right out. Slide off. Okay, now if you haven't seen my original video with this, the review, I go into depth about what the frame has in there and everything. Go ahead and check that out. But mainly today we are focusing on this slide. Okay, so I'm going to give you a close-up look at the slide here and what you're looking at. Now, I have a slide off an older military Colt here, 1911 slide, and I bet you right away you can maybe see something that's a little different. And what here are the old war model here, and here's the newer government model Series 80. Both of them made by Colt. See that right there? They've added a firing pin block. So procedure in taking that down is a little bit different. So what I found is, if you take a couple of punches, one, if you notice, the standard way to take this down would be to push this all the way through and then slide off the back plate. Well, if you notice, it won't go because it's being hung up by something. Well, that's because it's being hung up by the firing pin block, very similar to like what a Glock has. So the way to do it is you start it, put a little light pressure on the firing pin. With your other pin, go ahead and push the firing pin block. Once you'll feel it, once you push it, you'll notice that your firing pin is recessed back into the slide. So at that point, you can push the block right off. Comes right out. And what's holding that in there is the firing pin stop. Now when you do this, go ahead and what I do is I go ahead and face it down on the light surface here, and I go ahead and just push that button again, and you'll notice what comes jetting out is the firing pin and its spring. So that's just a little extra step. Now the next step is you have to get that firing pin block out of there. Now it's a little tricky because what holds it in is the extractor. You have to find a point in where the extractor lets go of it. And that can be a little tricky sometimes. And this one's no exception. Okay, so what I did was I pushed that the extractor forward a little bit, and it released the plunger with the spring. Be careful, there is a spring on there. You don't want to lose that. It's very small and it will take off on you and you may not find it again. So I'll go ahead and show you as I remove the extractor. The way I do it is I go in from the breech face. I don't know if you can see that, and I just go ahead and give that a push. It'll protrude just enough for you to grab hold of it. Now the difference on the extractors from the Series 80, you'll notice there's a little cutout, and that cutout is what fits the firing pin stop in its groove. Anyway, that's pretty much how you take it down and apart. It's a little bit of an extra step aside from the way it normally was. Now to put it back in, you'll notice the hole through the slide. When you put your extractor back in, you'll see where it clears it. There's no metal obstructing it. Put that back in there. I push it down and lock it back in place. Start the firing pin by again pushing the button to drop it down in there. And I take my punch, use a larger one, get more surface contact, and start it, push the button, and lock it in place. Take the back plate, put it back on, and don't forget to push the button again so it locks itself back into place. A little bit different from the way it used to be without that, but that's how you go ahead and take it apart as far as the slide goes on the Series 80. If you do want to see a disassembly video where we go ahead and tear into the frame, which is a little bit different, as you can see, you got those extra levers there. Again, if you watch my video on the review on this gun, you will see it. Go ahead and click the like button and leave some comments. Again, thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. I'm Bat Jack JW. I'm signing out.